behavior.
Okay.
Why are we letting them out scot-free? Like, this is retarded.
But Allie,
yes, I said the retarded word
because it means delayed. We were in the cafeteria today and we're watching as they are showing that, or yesterday, sorry, when we first got in, we're in the cafeteria and we're watching as they're showing that the gunman is having his day in court yesterday.
Gee, that happened fast.
Yes, it happened really fast. And so while I'm glad he's getting his day in court, like, how many people died at the hands of Fauci in the mismanagement of COVID? Well, first the virus that he cooked up in the lab in Wuhan, China, because all good things come from China. And like, but we haven't, like, nobody. Why is justice slow when it goes through the ethics committee or the DOJ largely? But this person is like,
well, because they came for our president. So I'm good.
I know, but they came for millions of Americans too.
They did. I agree with you. I mean, both can be true at the same time, right?
Okay, yeah.
Like I agree with the fact that yes, this is happening swiftly, because they caught him, right? And I get that. That's great. And Fauci still needs to be held accountable, and so does Nancy Pelosi, and so does the people that called in the SWATs for a lot of our friends in media, independent media, who got swatted overnight. What about the raids, right? That happened just because. That were literally put in gulags, and like, seriously,
some that took their own life because they were so patriotic they couldn't even stand to have the charge of terrorist or treason. You know, like, that's just so, Allie. And I know,
is it a two-tier justice system? Like, or are they? Is that just? Are we really caring about law and order, or is that just a talking point? Mm-hmm. Republicans, like, and I'm saying that because I'm in America first. Like, yes, I'm registered Republican, but at the end of the day, like, well, we have to make
registered Republican, but kicked out of the Republican Party.
That part. But we have to make sure that we are standing on integrity. Are we just saying words because they sound nice and they make us raise, money for campaigns and then for us to get reelected, or moving the needle with what we're saying, and we're standing on principle and actually doing the right thing where when it counts, right? Like, we have to make sure that it's applied equally.
Absolutely. And I think, even when we're coming here to DC and we're thinking about how we're going to get the show out live and how we're going to do all this, it's funny because we run into people. We ran into a representative recently, and he was like, great show. I love to watch your guys' show. But it's important that you guys understand that every time we ask you to get involved, whether it's to call your representatives or your senators, pass the Save America Act, or the representatives that are right now deliberating on the Rules Committee for the cutting out of Save Our Bacon Act out of the Farm Bill, we are not afraid to do the work ourselves as well. Both Allie and I have been candidates for office before. It's not fun. It's not fun to have your name dragged through the mud. It's not fun to have to put yourself out there and have people left, right, and center just attacking you. But there is a part that you can play. And I like to tell people sometimes, Allie, they'll get so upset that Trump's not fixing this or Trump's not fixing that, and especially things that are local, things that are local to your community. There is a role that we play. General Michael Flynn has always said, local action equals national impact. So while Trump's taking care of his portion, what part are you going to play? What role are you going to play? The 2026, we were just at a dinner recently where somebody was talking about the 2026 midterms, terrified that we may lose some seats because we're not, I don't know, people have different opinions on it, but you need to get involved and do something, everything from your school board election on up through the state house and even federal, Allie. They need to make sure they're getting involved.
Absolutely. I mean, yes, get involved. It's hard when you have people that are like, well, there's been no justice served, right? Like, yes, there are other things that are happening and we are better off, but at the same time, it's like we were promised some things and they haven't come to fruition yet. And I understand the sentiment. I'm not saying to discount it, but still take your ass out to go to the polls and vote. Like, just because it hasn't happened right now in this section of this term, like the first 2 years, like we still got 3 years left. Like,
and
and it really matters on whether or not we're going to get the rest of what we're asking for, what we asked for, a mandate that we put forward in November of 24.
Yes.
If we don't have the House or the Senate at all, because then it'll just be a repeat.
Well, and yet, I mean, honestly, guys,
2016.
And I'm equally as upset with Republicans for not, especially in the Senate, for not doing certain things.
Yeah, John Thune, what are we doing?
Oh my God.
What are we doing? Can we please pass?
It's always a Thune.
Like, I don't understand what we're doing. Like, why is this such a why are we holding on to this? Why are we not
bottleneck?
Why are we not passing this forward? That is not what the Senate was created for. It was to be a bottleneck of conjecture. That's not what we're doing.
Right.
It's a 1776 moment. Like, stand for the moment and just pass the damn bill. Like, honestly,
this isn't difficult.
And then I get people that are like, oh, that's a terrible bill. Have you read it? It's about only citizens voting and making sure we don't have boys and girls sports. It's the codification. You know why it's attached to the Save America Act? Because we can't get off our best intentions and codify the executive order.
Did you know why we had to attach the Save America Act to the FISA? You want to talk about an awful bill. Can we not spy on Americans?
Yeah, those need revisions.
Because right now we're spying on Americans and we still couldn't stop that lone gunman from coming here to take out Trump.
But wait, exactly that part. Because,
where was that intelligence?
Oh, girl.
I'm sorry. We're moody. Do you think they really want us in the Capitol Hill today? Yes, they do. But
my attitude.
Part of what I was going to say, though, is that as much as I am upset with some Republicans, especially locally, but you have to think, I still do not want a Democrat in office. No, because we don't have those like Kennedy midline Democrats anymore. We've got like these crazy
They're socialists.
Yes.
Communists. The communists are here.
And we have to dig into the 80-20 rule. Like I am not anymore like just burn it down for the sake of burn it down, because I'm strategic, like scalpel, you know, to like, because there's good in it. And I just want to cut out the BS from it. So that means you've got to get involved. You've got to make sure you're registered to vote. You've got to know when your primaries are. Make sure that you're ready to vote in 2026 for all your midterm elections. Allie, we don't have our Liberty Cigars commercial because we're on the road, but we can do a quick read. Tell our viewers why we have partnered with Liberty Cigars and a little bit of the history with it.
Right, we've partnered with Liberty Cigars because one, it's
a great cigar.
And it's
our meeting is a little bit of a.
Look, sometimes you need alcohol, sometimes you need a little bit of tobacco. Who knows, right? How you cope. I'm just saying, if you're going to make sure that it's made here in America and with a history lesson on, you know, American founders. And I mean, they have like a naval series, they have a presidential series. They have a President Trump cigar.
She's got a Trump cigar that
she's not
opening.
I have a Trump cigar that will not open yet, and
I'm just saying, my birthday's in July, but she's still not
like the right time, I guess. But yes, if you could go to libertycigars.com, they have a plethora of just choices that you can choose from, and they really are great cigars. I wouldn't push something that I haven't tried.
Right. And like you said, a wonderful American-owned a company. Use promo code Open Mic. I think just to stick it to some people, we're going to keep that promo code because
the mic's always open.
The
so
mic
I don't
is
really
always
care how you feel
open.
about it. You can feel how you feel.
All right, guys, moving back to what's taken place over the weekend, Saturday night. Where were you?
I was at home. I was watching it.
Oh, I was in the car and you sent it to me and I was like, what? I can't believe this is happening. So Trump has come out and he's had a few words to say about actually, there's got a couple of small clips here that we can show. Commander-in-Chief himself talking about that night, Saturday night. Let's take a listen.
You see the security moving quickly, within seconds, grabbing the vice president by his coat, lifting him up, bringing him out. Then the counter assault comes in. Took 10 seconds for them to flank you, Mr. President, and then 20 seconds to get you out. It looked chaotic. At one point, you were down. What was happening?
Well, what happened is it was a little bit me. I wanted to see what was happening, and I wasn't making it that easy for him. I wanted to see what was going on. And by that time, we started to realize maybe it was a bad problem, different kind of a problem, bad one, and different than what would be normal noise from a ballroom, which you hear all the time. And I was surrounded by great people. And I probably made them act a little bit more slow. They said, wait a minute, let me see, wait a minute. So, I'm telling.
Just at that moment where it looks like you go sort of down with the service,
Well,
you were
they
telling
asked
them
me-
to wait?
Well, I know what happened is then I started walking with them. I started walking. And they said, please go down on the floor. So I went down and First Lady went down also. But we were asked to go down by the agents as I was walking. In other words,
They
I
wanted
was,
you almost to
I
crawl
was
out.
standing up, pretty much. I was standing up and then turned around the opposite direction and started pretty much walking out, pretty tall, a little bent over because I'm not looking to be standing too tall. And, but I was walking out. It was pretty about halfway there. And they said, please go down to the floor. Please go down to the floor. So I dropped to the floor. So did the First Lady.
Mm.
Well, there's your explanation on why he went down, which I guess was partly correct. With he went down to Melania.
So it's just a
And
different.
I hate how they make it sound like he fell, right? Like,
Well, and
what
even
if-
she's like, you're telling them, no, wait, I want to see this while you're down on the floor. Like,
guys,
bitch, what are you like?
guys,
I don't know if I can say
listen,
that, but
listen. Everybody's complaining about how the media uses propaganda and lies to you.
Mhm.
If our Republicans would just pass the Spin Act,
Smith.
it's called the Spin Act, and it's done. It's been brought. It's been sitting in the cloakroom, and it's authored by Representative Corey Mills.
Maybe
I
that's
wonder
why they won't bring it forward.
They're going after him.
Oh, wow. But here's the thing.
Or
Hold
why
on,
they won't
hold
bring
on.
it up.
Here's the thing, though. You can have your issues with a representative all you want, but why wouldn't you bring forward a good bill?
It's to
It's for us. It's for people. It's for the
Right.
media.
So
Like you could solve the problem. Oh,
No,
do you
that's
not want to solve the
right.
problem?
That's right, because then you can't fundraise on anything.
Wow.
Got it. Understood.
We have been.
Is that what we're doing?
I don't
I mean, are
know.
we a little cynical today? I don't know.
Well, maybe it's just being in DC.
I don't understand. Excuse me. I really don't. I don't understand. I don't get it.
I don't either. Let's take a listen to another
We
clip
can only
here.
complain about something for so long.
No, this is actually the
I
same.
feel like
clip.
one of my buttons is like, what's happening?
I would I would tell you if you had a button loose. Would I tell her if she had a button loose?
No, it's attached to the tag that's on the inside, and it's like bothering me. I'm like, what is this?
On the inside. Yeah, no, this is actually the same clip. So
I
Reese
probably have sent you like 12 of those because I didn't know who to use.
Well,
like, yeah.
and so I've been stalling a little bit because this I don't want to make people angry, but y'all, this pissed me right off.
Angry.
And maybe it's because we're in DC and we're hearing people, chatter from people that were there. Everybody's got an opinion. Many of the opinions you don't want, but there is another group of women that get together and talk about things. They're known as The View. I don't know if you can see this here, Allie, but let's take a listen from Anna Navarro. She is on The View. She is telling everyone what she has to say about what took place at the dinner. Take a listen.
But now that room was full of some of the most important political leaders in the country right now.
Right.
Now they know, they've lived it in their own flesh, the fear that our school children go through.
Yes.
Now they know what it's like to have to jump under a table the
Yeah.
way that school children
Yes.
jump under a desk. And we are a country that is vulnerable to this. We have now seen shootings in malls, in churches, in temples, and
Baseball.
Walmart.
We saw it
in
with
baseball
the
fields.
Republicans.
And so,
Yeah.
I still don't understand how Congress took no action after Sandy Hook, after 20 children between the ages of 6 and 7 were killed. But maybe now that they have felt the fear themselves, they will do something.
But what I
on
don't
gun
understand
reform.
is how
Okay, mira, de su bolsillo. Okay? Listen. The reason why our schools are like sitting ducks is because they're gun-free zones.
Yes.
You know why no one was injured or fatally shot at this event
Because it
because
wasn't
there
a
were
gun-
good guys with guns.
Yes.
Like-
oh my God. Well, and
This is what drives me nuts about this, sis, is like why there are ways to solve this problem.
There are ways
without infringing on
to fortify.
self-protection.
And honestly, Florida has done a great job in some of the protocols and the way that they've tried to legislate this. I don't agree with all of the legislation, but there are ways that like you said, to fortify these schools. Your churches should be another place. But if you want to talk about people, bad guys carrying guns and coming into places and shooting them up, listen, maybe you don't put people on hormone, whatever drugs. Maybe you don't try to pump people full of testosterone or estrogen, or try to confuse them about their identity, or try to tell people that Charlie Kirk was a white supremacist when actually he was on the targeted list from the Southern Poverty Law Center that we now know was not just calling us terrorists, but funneling money to the KKK and real terrorists, because you couldn't actually get us divided as a nation. So you had to funnel money to pretend that we were divided, creating the hate, creating the narrative, creating the bad blood, creating the divide, that now when you decide some lone crazy gunman decides to go shoot somebody, the first thing you say as a teacher in another district is, oh, I'm sorry that he missed.
What?
So I don't think the problem is like, Joe Schmo with a gun going into a mall. Check who they're targeting. The body bags y'all claimed were lined up throughout COVID. Check them again, because they're all conservatives in body bags right now. And I'm telling you, when Allie said a few weeks ago that y'all got the best one by getting Charlie Kirk, he was the
Listen,
nicest.
I want you to go up.
We
to
not
a
nice.
weapon, go into a gun store and tell the guns to go shoot someone. See how many get up.
Now give them a Discord chat and tell them that they're the wrong sex, and that those of us who vote differently somehow want to end their lives. And now see who goes and gets a gun and ends somebody's life. It's your rhetoric. It's your rhetoric and your garbage and your hate.
I want to know who's paying The View.
Probably the SPLC.
Is it the same people that is funding Jimmy Kimmel?
Ooh.
Are y'all the same people?
Ooh.
They are, because it's ABC. It's the same freaking network.
Ooh.
So why, again, past the spin act, what are we talking about? Like, I can't. This stuff is making me so angry. The chancleta is out, okay? Mira, I'm already up here.
Wow. Oh my God. You scared the crap out of me. We're in DC. I hit the ground. No, I forgot. Trump cleaned up DC. We're good. We're just, we're not disclosing where we're at. We're like in a bunker. It feels like.
De su bolsillo.
Well, speaking of Jimmy Kimmel,
Get it together.
this is, you scared me.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
time
love
out.
you. I'm so
Before
sorry.
we pivot to Jimmy Kimmel, I feel
My sis.
highly abused right now because we're sitting at dinner last night and I don't even know what I said, but it's a show called Out of Pocket. I tend to say some stuff that's
We're out
not
of pocket all the time.
not like, politically correct. And this one,
I just flicked her.
no, you did not flick me. She takes her napkin, the nice napkins, because we're in a freaking nice restaurant. And she's like, bam.
That's such an exaggeration.
No, it's not. And the
Proof or it didn't happen.
okay, hold on. Like one of the top lobbyists in DC. We're at the dinner table with them, and
like,
he looked. He's like,
I heard it. Are you okay? I did not mean to. I didn't mean to.
It hurt.
I'm sorry.
And now she gets her shoe. You all saw that.
But I didn't threaten you with it. I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just telling you how to
They're
get
not
it
going to
together.
let us do security.
Like a mom. Like, your mom, she's tired of y'all playing around, messing around. She's going to listen. Sometimes
Oh no.
it's my rod, okay? It's not my Jesus sandal, but it's a rod. It's a form of a. Come on now.
You better sleep with one eye open, is all I got to say. Okay, take a listen to Jimmy Kimmel. Guys, first of all, the guy's not cute. He's never been funny. I'm not exactly sure who drew the short straw and had to end up giving him a contract. This is the most repulsive thing I think I've ever seen or heard when it comes to, we're not even 24 hours out of a what could have been a very somber moment in our country with the attempted assassination, again, of Donald Trump and so many others, and take a listen to what Jimmy Kimmel took his time on the airwaves to say and do.
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
You have a glow? Like, what, one more time, what?
Is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
I would have done a Will Smith and got up and smacked him. No, not really, because that's just not very First Lady. But
I'm not First Lady.
The Latina in me.
I'm First Ghetto. Let's go.
Oh my. And then can you imagine how protective her husband, you know what I, like a man. He's not gonna, oh, Jimmy Kimmel better be fired.
Well, and listen, I'm all for freedom of speech, and you have to be able to laugh at things that are funny.
That shit's not funny.
That's not funny. It's not funny.
Sorry, I'm trying to work on my mouth. But that's not funny.
It's not funny.
You have a glow like an expectant widow. So what's her name? Griffith. That wasn't enough with the bloody beheading of president. That's not enough. That's not enough. That wasn't enough. People doing plays where he's getting stabbed in the back and being shot in the face. That's not enough. They were laughing and all that when he was shot at. Literally, they shot at our president and drew blood. That's not enough. It's not enough for you.
Let's not forget that we also have the incident at the West Palm Beach Golf Club, the Trump Golf Club, that took place. If it wasn't for the Secret Service acting a little late, but acting, at least they did their job because he's still alive. Now you've got this as the third. You've got arguably one of the biggest civil rights leaders in our time, Charlie Kirk, assassinated. You think back, guys, to when Reagan was shot. First of all, Reagan was shot really just steps from where this event was with the White House Correspondents' Dinner. You think back to some of, all of our boomers out there. Think back to Martin Luther King's assassination. Think back to JFK's assassination. Would anybody at that time in our history, whether you voted for JFK or not, would they have made these kinds of jokes? Would they have made fun of Mrs. Kennedy? Would they have done that during that time? Or did we have a heart in our country to be like, oh my gosh, this is our darkest hour. I can't believe this happened. Granted, we realize now there's more that played behind the scenes, but still it was a tragedy in our country. And now, remember when people would say, Allie, that we're desensitizing people with all this video games and Hollywood and everything. Are we desensitized to these assassination attempts? Because they keep fucking
happening.
They keep making fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm mad. They keep making fun of it. How are you making fun of the fact that people are trying to take shots at our president?
It was outrageous that Ilhan Omar had someone approach her in an angry manner and throw something on her, which, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah. It's a dangerous situation in any situation. You never know, right? But it's not when there are actual shots fired in the direction of our president or our cabinet. And many of them have expecting wives. How is this not something that has everybody upset? I don't understand. I really don't. And then you see people saying that Miller was he was using his pregnant wife as as a shield. No, that he was moving her out of the way, literally doing what he was supposed to be doing, was covering her. Some of y'all don't know what real true masculine men actually look like and behave, and you can tell by how you react to this stuff. This is just insane. Everybody should be pissed that this is the third attempt on President Trump. Now, not even to mention, this is the same hotel Reagan was shot at.
That's what I was saying. It just steps from where Reagan was shot. Melania Trump did come out with some comments. I'm trying to pull that up, but for some reason it's not wanting to pull up. Let me see if I can find it here momentarily. Boom, right here. Let's see if it refreshes. But Melania, so she came out not that long ago, and she had some strong statements to say regarding the Epstein victims, giving them their day in the public. But yeah, the Melania comments are not pulling up. Melania's come out and she's basically calling on the network to do something. This is not okay. What's gone on? It's gone on far too long, in my opinion. Jimmy Kimmel it wasn't that long ago. He was in hot water about other things. This isn't entertainment. And I don't think that, again, I just think you have a responsibility when you have the ear of the nation the way he does. Are you looking for the
I am.
comments? Okay, I'll stall.
Someone just called me a grifter because I support boycotting Starbucks and ABC and
Wow,
JC Penney. Those that are funding the largest advertisers on ABC News because of the rhetoric that's on here. So excuse me, first of all, I get no money for doing for posting, right? Even reposting my friends who are in independent media and work in media like OAN. So I don't get any money for this. I am not a grifter. And if you want to talk, you do better. People don't punch down, they punch up, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And you will look, I am not the one today.
We were just talking about this today. There are a lot of people that are surprised when you snap back. Did you find it?
Yeah, when you
Okay.
guys bite back, well, no shit.
Wow.
You bit first. And I'm the bigger dog. So Fafo if you want. Kimmel's hateful and violent rhetoric is intended to divide our country. His monologue about my family isn't comedy, it's words. His words are coercive and deepens the political sickness in America. People like Kimmel shouldn't have the opportunity to enter our homes each evening to spread hate. A coward. Kimmel hides behind ABC because he knows the network will keep running cover to protect him. Enough is enough.
Yes.
It is time for ABC to take a stand. How many times will ABC's leadership enable Kimmel's atrocious behavior at the expense of our community? So let me just,
That's our first lady.
that's our first lady. So let me remind you guys of how they decided to cancel comedians who were making jokes about LGBTQ. How they were canceling comedians or even us for speaking out about truth when it came to, I don't know, product malfunction, right? Product liability.
Immunity for Big Pharma.
Or even now for glyphosate. Like, you know how much hate I'm getting for saying that the government should not be giving immunity for any product because whatever. Anyway, like something's happened. And I feel like conservative like y'all have gone so far right, you're woke again.
Yeah.
Like you've gone so far right.
Conservative Ant was just saying that.
Right. You guys have gone so far right, you're Democrats.
We're not saying that conservative Ant has gone so far right.
It's the ones that are like vote Democrat because of all this. Like you're this, you're that, you're grifter. Like I don't understand.
Conservative Ant was just on yesterday. We were watching that. And he, of course, his mouth is far worse than ours, but he's letting them have it too.
So Chad Caton says, we demand ABC Network to fire Jimmy Kimmel immediately. We recognize he has a right to his free speech, no matter how disgusting. However, he is an employee and he is not free from consequences. These are the top advertisers to his show. We, the people, will boycott not only ABC, but their top advertisers, McDonald's, Starbucks, Venmo, and JCPenney. Guys, do you remember when teachers were coming out and they were saying that they were supporting civic engagement, that they were supporting parental rights in education, that they were supporting parents and making decisions for their children on whether or not they wanted to learn about sex from strangers at their schools, that their children want to, you know what I'm saying? So they were canceled and fired from their jobs. We had military members, we had service members that were a part of our government employees. We had teachers, we had staffers, we had doctors and nurses fired for blowing the whistle on products or on treatments at hospitals. They were fired and let go. A lot of them got their licenses revoked for even speaking up about truth. What Jimmy Kimmel is doing is not truth, it's hatred. And yet ABC still employs him. So that means to tell me that whoever is funding ABC and whoever these advertisers are, they agree with this kind of mess.
And they support
Is it not?
And they support it. Listen, without advertisers and sponsors,
Your show
you don't
is
have a
not
show. So
unless you're Soros funded.
or SPLC.
Or SPLC, which is largely funded by Hollywood and the NAACP. So congratulations.
Wait, so that means indirectly, like the NAACP funded the KKK?
Yes.
Well, guys, this rhetoric, if you're wondering why Allie and I are a little hot under the collar, this rhetoric has been around for a while. And we have been saying, along with others, that what you consider the communist socialist left, listen, I don't like them. I don't like their viewpoints. I don't wish harm on them or their families. I would like to see them held accountable, because their rhetoric is what's causing all of the violence that you're seeing perpetrated against the left. And now they're dehumanizing the right, to say that the left is saying, basically, just like they did throughout COVID, the winter of death, we'll just let you die. Don't even show up in the ER if you're not going to wear your mask, or put 3 tube socks around your face. Like, they were very, very adamant. This is the new Nazi Germany, where they're ratting out their next door neighbors. You want to know how Jews were hauled off from the concentration camp? Well, in 2026, it looks like you're too far right, so we don't mind if somebody comes and snuffs you out, just like they did Charlie Kirk. It's been going on for a while. It's disgusting. Take a listen. I think we could play about 2.5 minutes of the left showing their hate and rhetoric, just so you know.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
Biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized right up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face, and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look, as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Well, if that doesn't remind you and strike fear into you, like, oh, I don't know, the days of the civil rights movement, they literally sound like the party they've always been.
Democrat Party, Allie, was the one who did not want to desegregate schools.
They didn't want to desegregate anything. They didn't want to desegregate anything. They wanted to continue to have segregation because if you solve the problem, there's no problem. If everyone is free, there's no one to oppress.
Yeah. You guys, the reason why we wanted to spend so much of our time today talking about what took place over the weekend, obviously we didn't get to it yesterday in our show, but why I know why we talked about doing this is because I don't want us to be desensitized to what took place just because, again, we're fortunate that nobody was injured. It's very fortunate that, I mean, we should be thanking God. Yeah. And in your prayers that you guys have, that you hold up, not just your family, but our elected representatives and Trump and everybody, that they're working. But this is ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. We are sitting in rooms with people trying to get them to vote and support good, sound legislation And some of them are on the right side of the aisle and some of them are on the left. And we're trying on the left, we're trying to find what few things we can maybe agree with you on to try to push that over the finish line. It's not personal. We're not derogatory. We could be, but we're not, because that's not how our republic operates.
Guys, it's the government we currently have. And until we're able to get the government we want to replace it with, right? Because that is our part.
And we're not talking about like necessarily any one person. We're talking about like, how
as a whole,
you're disappointed sometimes in your representatives.
Well, when you feel like your representation is no longer representing you, it is up to you, we the people, to change that representation. And in order for us to do that, you have to take a participatory role in our own governance. And how do you do that? You make sure that you are engaged in your local politics. You make sure that you know who your local school board members are, all the way up to your state representatives and your congressional representatives. And when there is an issue, you make sure that you talk to them. When there isn't an issue, you make sure you talk to them, reach out to them. It's like a friend. It's like a business colleague. Hey, what is going on this week? Do weekly check-ins. Do something.
Hey,
do something.
You want to know what doesn't work?
Ignoring it.
Or just calling them a rhino and never talking to them.
That part. You have to work.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Have.
We have used those words in the past, and I'm not saying that there aren't people that fit that bill. But if they're elected to office right now, you need to move the needle,
you need to talk to them.
That's why it's called negotiation and debate. I mean, you'd be surprised. Most people, I find, I'm not going to speak for Democrats, want to find themselves on the right side of an issue. There are people that are corrupt and will never listen to you. Those people don't pick up our phone calls. But for the most part, the people that we find ourselves in front of, for whatever the issue is that we're going in to talk to them about, they genuinely want to try to figure out what are the constituents saying? What are the people back home saying? How do I find the right side of this issue?
Because at the end of the day, they want to stay elected for whatever reason. And so if you can figure out how to sit across from someone and have a conversation about the issue, and when they get off track, you bring it back to the issue. I don't care what you do in your bedroom consensually. I could care less. It's not me, so I don't care.
Yeah.
I care about what touches me at my kitchen table. Faith, family, food, finance, freedom, education. Yeah. That's what touches me at my kitchen table. That's what touches all Americans at their kitchen table. What you do in your bedroom is your business. Yeah. Behind closed doors, it's your business. You're doing it in my Capitol building and you're recording it. It's my business. And now I got a problem with it because now you need to be removed from office and somebody else needs to be in there.
And until we get that type of morality that y'all want in office,
it's the government
in their private life, you better make sure. Well, first of all, you should be running for office then, because you're not throwing stones at glass and living in a glass house yourself, right? No, that's not happening ever. So either you run for office or you pick up the football and help us get it across the finish line. 2026, we need to gain more seats in the House and Senate. Plus, you need to make sure that you retain your school board into a conservative majority. And if you don't have it, you need to flip it. Make sure you get out there and help somebody that's running for office, a grassroots conservative.
And it doesn't matter how many people you have registered in your state or in your precinct. It matters how many people come out to vote.
Just saying. We love you guys. We're going to keep it out of pocket as we head over to Capitol Hill. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Follow both of us at Real Ally Leger, at Michelle Posey, and at Out of Pocket Ladies. Out of Pocket live on all social media platforms. I don't know what day it is today. Get me on another airplane. We'll see more of you guys tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, right back here, guys. Thank you.
Two queens, no filter. Say what they feel. Allie and Michelle keep it way too real. Politics, family, yeah, we